So yesterday I shared what a fibromyalgia flare is. Today I'm sharing what we can do for a fibromyalgia flare. Well, we know that fibromyalgia symptoms fluctuate. Flares usually go right into my back, from the middle of my back down, but they can also be in my neck and shoulders. It's not fun. And I get really cranky, so that's not good either. It's just part of living with the disease. The symptoms will increase and decrease in intensity in the number of symptoms on a regular basis. But flares, on the other hand, are an exacerbation or a worsening of our symptoms. The flares can last days or even weeks. The triggers of flares can differ between each of us with fibro. For me, extreme stress, not getting enough sleep, and overdoing my household chores will trigger a flare. And imagine if all of those three things are present, the kind of flare I'll get. Okay, what can we do? There's a few things. We need to make sure we get plenty of rest. And if you're traveling, give yourself a day of relaxation before getting out and enjoying your vacation. And then when you get home, give yourself a day before you go back to work. I mean, in your daily life, rest is crucial. Relaxing is crucial. My nighttime hot baths are important. So when we're on a trip, I make sure I get I don't like to take baths, and my kids say I'm a germaphobe, but I don't take baths when I'm in hotels. So I will take a hot shower instead. That helps me. So talk to your doctor if you're having a lack of sleep, if that is what is affecting you. I mean, insomnia is no joke. For me, I take a muscle relaxer and I take the medication that's prescribed to me for my fibro. I relax and watch a movie with my husband in the evening. It's part of our routine. Well, we know that stressful events can trigger a flare. So if you know that an event is going to flare you, do you need to do it? Or do you want to? I mean, knowing you might flare? If it's something important enough for me, I'll do it anyways. Like, I am not going to miss visiting my family because they're important to me, and being with them doesn't stress me out. I know from some people that being with their family, they feel stressed out, and so they will avoid family outings, family get-togethers, and that makes me sad. I can't imagine. But if you're like me and you do choose to do a family outing, make sure you plan ahead and prepare yourself for it. It's important to take care of yourself too, right? Get plenty of rest before that event. Listen to your favorite music, watch a funny movie. Just get yourself in a mental headspace that makes you feel relaxed before you go. And then do the same thing when you get home. Don't binge on junk food. And I'm not saying that you can never have your favorite dessert. We all like to indulge. I mean, it's kind of common sense, right? You know you on what you can do, so follow that. But when you're in a flare, junk food is probably your enemy. So drink plenty of water and get rest. Keeping a journal might help. Write down what you did before you flared so you can understand what is causing your flares. I know that I just want to live my life, and I didn't used to pay attention to what was going on in my life that might have related to my symptoms. It took me a few years to finally get this in my head. Don't be like me. Start now. It's so important to take care of you. I've learned how important paying attention to myself is. Self-care is more important than ever when you have a chronic illness. And if your family doesn't get it, well, you might just need to provide little hints here and there. For example, not feeling very well today. That's all you need to say. And that makes you accountable. You might say, I'm a little grumpy today. And that makes you accountable. People around you need to know that it's not their fault for why you are doing what you're doing, saying what you're saying, or behaving in a certain way. It's not their fault. So love one another. You can live your best life with fibromyalgia by paying attention to your body and preparing for flares. Take a hot shower in the middle of the day if you need to. Stop and rest every 15 minutes to a half an hour. For example, I took multiple breaks when cleaning my shower, and I still got a flare because that constant movement of scrubbing still caused a flare. But if I hadn't taken those breaks, it probably would be worse than what it is now. If you can exercise a couple times a week, not during a flare, it might help you because it helps you build an endurance. I mean, I can vacuum the floors now. In the beginning, I couldn't vacuum. Every movement of that vacuum was horrible. Now, what we did do was buy a lightweight vacuum cleaner that I can use every day, every other day, every 3 days, however I'm feeling. And then I use the heavy duty vacuum once in a while because we have this shag carpet that I love, just an area rug, and it needs a heavier vacuum. So learn what works for you. I mean, I can do a light exercise routine on my good days. I think that getting up and getting ready for your morning, making your bed can make you feel better. I think it's important to keep your body moving, but gently. And even during a flare, keep it moving, just gently. After my flare from my proposal defense, I was given prednisone. Prednisone is my best friend when I'm having a horrible flare. So my doctor prescribed me prednisone prior to my dissertation defense. Well, guess what? I didn't get a flare, but I was more emotionally ready. And then I took time off to really prepare for it. So by the time I had to defend it, I was ready. Now, prednisone isn't one of those medications that we can take regularly. So your doctor will only give it to you on the rare occasion, maybe twice a year. But when you're in, as one of my participants in my study said, contorted from pain, that might be a good time to take it talk to your doctor. I'm not a medical doctor, I'm a psychologist. So it's important that you take all of these things into consideration by talking to your medical doctor. Heat on my back is my best friend. Some people find that alternating heat and cold packs can help them. Deep breathing. Blowing out slowly. Helps to calm the nerves down and slow your heart rate when you're in a tizzy. For trips, I start planning a few weeks before. I make a list of what we need. My husband makes his list. I start packing a couple days before just to eliminate any of that kind of stress. Especially forgetting things. Talk about you. It's important to talk about what you're going through. You can journal, or you can pop into an online support group and share. Recently, we just put a little air freshener thing in our closet because that's where we keep our dirty laundry. And every time I would walk in there, because we don't keep a lid on it, otherwise, neither one of us are going to take the time to lift the lid up and throw our laundry in there. We just don't. So the lid has to be off. Well, that wasn't making walking into my closet very pleasant. So now I can walk in there and it smells good. And that I love. And I want to end with this. Let's not forget the importance of prayer. My relationship with God and Jesus, I hope, defines me. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But he is, and he loves his children. So let me quote from I hope you learned something. I send you gentle hugs and support. And give yourself some grace. We're all learning. Love you. So, what we can do for a flight.